What's going on, everyone? So I want to talk about the biggest game of the day. Georgia taking on Tennessee. Number 12 taking on number 7. Georgia coming off an embarrassing loss to Ole Miss. Georgia always responds after a loss, and they did it against Tennessee at home. Georgia gets the victory 31-17. Who played well in this game? Who did Georgia need to play well was Carson Beck, and he showed up and showed out. 25 of 40, 347 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns, and a touchdown on the ground. He used his legs. He's a little more mobile than what people think, but he had a 14-yard touchdown run, and he had a QBR of 98. This is the Carson Beck I think a lot of Georgia fans have been waiting for. Not only that, but the offensive line for Georgia really gave Carson Beck time to throw the ball, scan the field, and do his thing. Carson Beck played what I think a lot of people, especially preseason, thought Carson Beck was going to be this year. A very good passing quarterback. But, this Georgia team, man, you can never count them out, especially after a loss. They got embarrassed by Ole Miss. And Ole Miss gave them a butt whooping. And Kirby Smart, man, he loves it whenever people doubt him. Now, for Tennessee, they didn't know if they would have Nico Iamaleava back, and he passed concussion protocol. Nico, he's still trying to find his way. Not a great game for him. His QBR was a 75, but he was only 20 of 33, 167 yards through the air. No touchdowns, no interceptions. Dylan Sampson, still a very fine quarterback for Tennessee. He had 19 carries for 101 yards. Really did a little bit on the ground, but that Georgia defense did its thing. What we've seen, Georgia just beat the mess out of Texas. And it's like, man, every time a loss, Georgia shows up. And this is the Georgia team that people fear, or have feared over the past couple of seasons. So, Georgia was without Trevor Etienne tonight, but it did not matter. They didn't run the ball great, but they ran it well enough to get it done at home. And this was a must-win game for Georgia. They're at that 12th seed. They're actually one of the 2 teams that are first out in the college football playoff rankings right now. So this was a must-win game. Georgia needed to have it, and they got it against Tennessee. Now, both teams, Tennessee and Georgia, now 8-2 on the season. 2 more games left. We'll have to see what these teams do. But it was a great game, a physical game, and you just saw Georgia start to become that same Georgia that we've seen over the past couple of years. But, a couple of people showed up for Georgia. London Humphreys was their leading receiver, 3 catches for 63 yards. Dominic Lovett, he had 3 catches for 59 yards. But the guy that I thought that Georgia would utilize a lot this year came up in this game. Georgia loves to use the tight ends. Oscar Delp, 4 catches, 56 yards, 2 touchdowns. Both touchdowns to Oscar Delp. And Oscar Delp is a guy that I always thought that kind of looks similar to Brock Bowers, but he's nowhere near the level of Brock Bowers was. And Brock Bowers is doing his thing with the Raiders. They're actually a really good tight end. I mean, he's showing up even in his rookie season. But Oscar Delp finally showed up tonight. And, that Georgia defense, that Georgia offensive line, they got physical. They went back to the roots and got a big-time victory over Tennessee. Y'all let me know in the comments, who do you think will be able to make the playoffs out of both of these teams? Georgia, Tennessee. Do you think Georgia is built for the rest of the year? Can they make the SEC championship game? We'll have to see, man. But this SEC is so sporadic right now. My Florida Gators beat LSU. LSU had an outside shot at making it, but then you still got Texas A&M. You got Texas. There's so many teams that are in the SEC championship hunt, making that game. And if you win the SEC championship game, you're automatically in the college football playoffs. So, it's going to be interesting. You know what? But I love the 12-team playoff. I think it gives more excitement to everybody. But y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think. And do you think this Georgia team can sustain this? We've seen them have a great game like Texas. They beat the mess out of them and then go back down. I'm not sure what's going on, but can Kirby Smart, which we know he is a great head coach, can he get these guys up to par and play like this the rest of the season? Y'all let me know in the comments. I appreciate y'all watching this channel. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great one.